Today we're looking at the best activated abilities in Magic the Gathering. Now, the card doesn't have to be good, but the activated ability, it does have to. Okay, we're going to start off with Maze's End. Now, let me tell you, this is the maze that will lead to the end. It's a land that enters the battlefield tapped, and it taps for colorless mana. But you can also pay 3, tap, return Maze's End to its owner's hand, search your library for a gate card. And most of them were pretty poor. But you put it onto the battlefield, then you shuffle your library. But if you control 10 or more gates with different names, you win the entire game. It's GG. Be very wary when you see someone having 1 gate in hand. It could hit danger. It could hit danger. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Darren, Julian, Will Darkness, Lil, Joe, Abzo. Okay, let's go with Whale of Darkness's Infernal Denizens. The Infernal what is this? Is this actually a good activated? Well, it's 8 mana, so it better be good. Okay, I can't stand. I'm not gonna read the ancient scripture just in case I don't understand it. It's a demon for 8 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice 2 swamps. If you can't tap Infernal Denizen, and an opponent may gain control of a creature you control of their choice for as long as Infernal Denizen remains on the battlefield. Tap, gain control of target creature for as long as Infernal Denizen remains on the battlefield. That is absolutely insane. Basically, just tap and snatch something of somebody else's. Swipe, yoink! It's mine now. What's mine is mine, what's yours is also mine, says the IRS. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Grizzlebrand. Well, only if you have a lot of life. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with paying 7 life and then drawing 7 cards, am I right? And of course, I was about to say, like, nobody casts this card. I think it's possible, though. You know, you get, like, some Cabal Coffers going on. Why not? Like, Grizzlebrand's a pretty good creature just by itself. Them Cabal Coffer decks actually should be playing this thing. Unfortunately for you Commander players, no, it's banned. Sorry about that. So good that it's banned. You don't have music? I swear. Okay, that's... Oh, it's not on. You're not wrong. Okay, let's get the music going. I swear I turned it on. You know what? This is happening too often. I think my show is turning itself off for one reason or another. Thank you so much, iDucky. Next up. Oh, Yawgmoth's Bargain. Another completely banned activated ability. That's a bargain you can't say no to. 6 mana, enchantment. Skip your draw step. Who needs a draw step when you're going to draw cards for every life that you have? Pay 1 life and you draw them cards. That's a life that you... It's what life you're willing to pay for. Okay, Julian with the Masterful Ninja. I've never heard of this before, so I'm assuming this is a silver border card. Yeah. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised at all? Is it actually good? 3 mana, Masterful Ninja gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This is terrible. Disqualified. Yeah, my show is stealing its own music. Okay, we got Laurie. It does Raphaelos. Yeah, sure, why not? Raphaelos. Cheap creature I haven't played. Tap out a green in your map pool for each forest you control. Okay, who else do we have? Time Vault. Yeah, we're getting... You know what? You guys are making me realize that some of the most broken cards ever in Magic the Gathering, they're all activated abilities. And I guess that's why they're broken, because you can do it over and over and over and over again. It's not a one-time shabam. You get, you know, it's like Black Lotus, but every single turn. What if you could have Black Lotus every single turn? Then it'd be broken. Okay, Black Lotus is broken even without it every single turn. 2 mana, enters the battlefield tapped. It doesn't untap during your untapped step. If you begin your turn while Time Vault is tapped, you may skip that turn instead, and you may untap Timefall. But if it's untapped, you may take an extra turn after this one. I guess the ways you can abuse this, you can untap it with, what's it called? Voltaic Key, Manifold Key. Also, maybe even, what's it called? Amulet of Vigor. Because the Amulet will say, if a permanent comes into play tapped, just untap it. Simple as that. Chris with the Aetherflux Reservoir. You only need 50 life, but if you do, you're going to shoot someone else for 50 life. Alright, next up, let's go with... Ooh, Lowry's got a different one. The show is why shutting off your opponent's activated abilities is broken, a la Verdrana and Lynn Valley. You're not wrong. That's why Pithing Needle is an underrated card. Everyone's got to have a Pithing Needle in their deck. They may not be able to play Drana and Linval every time, but they can play Pithing Needle. Yuriko. The Tiger's Shadow in EDH. Oh yeah, because of Commander Ninjutsu. Yeah, screw Commander tax. If there's somebody slipping through the tax law, it's Yuriko. 3 mana, 1/3, but why would you even pay it for 3 mana when you have the Commander Ninjutsu? Return an unblocked attacker you control to hand, put this card onto the battlefield from your hand or the command zone tapped and attacking. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Whenever a ninja? It's like any ninja. Wow, you're gonna have multiple activated abilities of this thing. That's insane. Absolutely broken. I can't believe this card. This is legal? Whenever a ninja deals damage, completely busted. Unbelievable. Okay, Bryce with Pillipala? Okay, in a vacuum, is this good? Pay 2, untap it to add 1 mana to your mana pool. I would say this sucks. It's like, it's a combo card. It needs a little help. I know where you're going with this, Bryce, but you know, by itself, I mean, it's a very, very sad panda. It's Tolarian Academy from Christopher B. Yeah, like the more cards we look at, the more we realize, wow, activated abilities are completely broken. I mean, this is a mana ability, though. Okay, tap. So the Pithing Needle and Drine and Linval probably will have no power here. Tap, add a blue to your mana pool for each artifact you control. Ooh, Vasirasir. The black 1/1 Vampire Wizard. Sacrifice a creature, scry 1. 0. Look, Mom, no hands. I pay nothing and I can sacrifice creatures. Sacrifice them at will. We got Agloworks with Walking Ballista. One of many cards where if you could... Oh, I guess the future sight frame's not too bad on this. One of the types of creatures, pay nothing, remove a counter to snipe things for 1 damage. And if you have infinite mana, you can put infinite counters on this thing and kill people. Is definitely one of the... We wouldn't even call it classic, but one of the most common win conditions in Magic the Gathering, just period. Next up, we've got... Yeah, you gotta hate Walking Ballista. You better believe that I hate it.
No, God, please, no.
I've hated that card ever since it came into existence. Safifi with Kibo. Uktabi Prince. It's a human werewolf. 6 mana, 5/4. Spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a wolf or werewolf. It's also got Daybound. So what's on the other side? When we transform it... The Wedding Crasher has no activated ability. What is this? All that dramatic stuff for a card that's disqualified. Hold on, did I click on the right card? Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. It's Kibo. I wrote Kino from Mortal Kombat. I'm an idiot. Okay, 3 mana for a 2/2 Monkey Noble. Tap. Each player creates a colorless artifact token named Banana. With tap, sacrifice this artifact, add a red or green, and you gain 2 life. What the hell? Is that like just better than a treasure? Whenever an artifact an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That's an ape or monkey. Whenever Kibo attacks, defending player sacrifices an artifact. Creates a colorless artifact token. Everyone gets a banana. Oh, that's interesting. Great banana card. Da-na-na-na. Can I claim Deathrite Shaman? Sure. This card has like 3 amazing activated. Oh my god. It's white border.
No, God, please.
Oh, it's hideous. Okay, for a Golgari, the 1/2. It can exile land. All the abilities exile cards from your graveyard, screwing over your Delirium, your Threshold, your Reanimation, everything. Flashback. So you can tap, exile a card to add mana, pay a black, tap, exile an instant or sorcery card to make each opponent lose 2 life. Also, pay a green, tap, exile a creature card so that you can gain 2 life. Algot with All-Star Kicker. What the hell is this? This is a red 1 generic 2/2 assist kicker. You and up to one other player can spend mana to play the kicker cost. When an all-star kicker enters the battlefield, your team may pass the ball. If an all-star kicker was kicked, creatures your team controls. This doesn't have an activated ability. Do people not know what activated abilities are? Up to one other people can pay. It's like there's a kicker cost, but there's no activated ability. We did Aetherflux Reservoir. Abzo with Teferi, the big one. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. All of them are actually pretty damn good. This one's a wipe order too. 5 mana for 4 loyalty. +1, draw a card, untap 2 lands. -3, you tuck something, tuck a non-land permanent, third from the top. And -8, you get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent and an opponent controls. You better believe that's dangerous. We got our first super chat of the day from John. Thank you so much, John. Asmodeus. It's broken, apparently. Asmodeus. Remember, the card can suck, but the activated ability needs to be amazing. We have 6 mana for a 6/6 Devil God. It's got Binding Contract. If you would draw a card, exile the top card of your library face down instead. That's weird. So we can pay 3 mana to draw 7 cards? That's nuts. Pay black, return all cards exiled with Asmodeus, the Archfiend, to their owner's hands, and you lose that much life. Okay, so it's like 4 mana, draw 7 cards. Not bad at all. Not bad. Dr. Nemo, Nicobolus, God Pharaoh. Nicobolus. Where are you, Nicobolus? There you are. 7 mana for 7 loyalty. If I remember, okay, +2, target opponent exiles the top card of their library until end of turn. Which one, actually? Should be maybe a little bit more specific. I'm assuming it's the -12, exile each non-land permanent your opponents control. You can wipe the board completely clean. You gotta have a clean board here, says Nicobolus. You gotta pick up after you're done playing with your toys. This -4 looks pretty lethal too. Deals 7 damage to target opponent, creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker they control as well. Next up, if you can sack the Asmodeus ability on the stack, you can just straight up draw the cards with no life loss. Oh, that's actually pretty interesting. Great idea with the Asmodeus. Yeah, sack it with on the stack. I think that would work. And then you just draw the cards instead of exiling them. Big Pogger with the Seismic Mage. It's gonna be very seismic. 4 mana, 1/1. 3 mana tap. Discard a card from your hand to destroy target land. Is that really that good? I don't think it's that good, to be honest. I've seen better. Okay, we got King Ginger's the Eon Engine. Okay, the Eon Engine is a 5 mana artifact. ETB tap. Exile Eon Engine. Reverse the game's turn order. Now that is powerful. I think that's powerful stuff right there. You have the power to turn the time around. Unfortunately, you have to exile this damn thing. Can't do it back and forth. Imagine locking the game between 2 players. 2 other players just don't get a turn ever again. Christopher B with a Johnny Nicatl Avenger. This doesn't even have. Oh, you mean the other side? Okay, there is a creature on the front side, but there's another side. If a cat dies, and it's a Johnny Nicatl Avenger. As far as I'm concerned, these other abilities mean nothing. This ability is insane. Pay 0, you get a 2/1 cat warrior creature token. And then if you have a red permanent other than a Johnny, you get to deal damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target. And you are definitely going to have a lot of cards. You're really going to smash someone for a ton. Restgen Serpentine. Has the kill switch been done? I'm assuming this is kill switch, not kill switch. This person looks like they're going to commit seppuku. Okay, we have a 3 mana artifact. Pay 2, tap. Tap all other artifacts. They don't untap during their controller's untap step for as long as kill switch remains tapped. Ultimate tap. Oh wow, this is a great, interesting way of Effectively locking down treasures. You have a lot of treasures? Well, guess what? I got the kill switch. They don't untap for as long as kill switch remains tapped. Oh, so you can just keep using it over and over again every single turn. Reston Serpentine says, I'm bad at typing. You and me both, Reston Serpentine. You and me both. We got Al Glowworks with the Viashino Heretic. Why is the Viashino's Heretic? Okay, this is a 3 mana, 1/3, pay 2, tap, destroy target artifact, and then Viashino Heretic deals damage to that artifact's controller. To that artifact's controller damage equal to the artifact's total casting cost. What? Destroy target artifact. It deals to that. Oh, it deals to that artifact's controller damage equal to the artifact's total casting cost. I like it. This seems like a very underrated card. It's probably the problem is it's like 3 mana to cast. It's a puny 1/3 creature. Bloating up artifacts, making people feel it in the face. Okay, Maddie's like, Necropotence might be good. I don't know. Okay, we want the Skull Man. There's the Skull Man. 3 mana for an enchantment. You also skip your draw step. If you would discard a card, it's removed from the game instead. Pay a life. Remove the top card of your library face down. You put into your hand at end of turn. Before the cleanup step, of course. Darkstar Shura. Garth One Eye. Oh yeah. You can get anything. You can get a Black Lotus. Wooburg 5/5, tap, choose a card name that hasn't been chosen from among Disenchant, Brain Geyser, Terror Shivan Dragon, Regrowth, and Black Lotus. Create a copy of that card with the chosen name. Now, the thing that sucks, though, is like, you already had 5, you have 5 mana already. Do you really need that Black Lotus at this point? Feels like a little low on the priority list. Ooh, Jess with Sneak Attack. Yeah, if there's anything this show is teaching me, activated abilities are too free in this game. Like, we obviously do not have enough ways of dealing with it. We need, like, a Torpor Orb for activated abilities. Like, activated abilities cannot be activated, or they're taxed by, like, 5 or something like that. 4-mana enchantment, pay a red, put a creature card right onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, and then at the end of turn, you gotta sacrifice it. We gotta say goodbye. It's hard to say goodbye, but we have to do it with the Sneak Attack. Lowry with Magnetic Web. It's a weird one. I just learned about the other day. Okay, 2 mana. If any creature with any magnet counters on it attacks, all creatures with magnet counters on them that the attacking player controls attack if able. Okay, if any creature with any magnet counters on it attacks, all creatures with magnet counters on them that defending player controls block the creature if able. They're like magnets. They are attracted to each other. Pay 1, tap, put a magnet counter on target creature. This is terrible. This is too hard to make work. The activated ability is not good. It's like put a magnet on a creature. You know, I've put a magnet on my cat before. It didn't really do much. Just fell off. Benovsky says, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Activated abilities are fragile because there's too many 0-mana instants that negate activated abilities. Yeah, and in Magic, we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. We have so much hate for the graveyard. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is nothing. And then on the opposite end, there's so much hate for activated abilities in Yu-Gi-Oh! And we have nothing. Curse Totem will only mess with activated abilities from creatures. From the creatures. Okay, next up, let's take one from the super chats. But obviously, it's like, no card here. Well, of course, because you just super chatted. Why? Oh, you had no card to say. Just wanted to say hi to the coffee crew. Thanks so much, Benovsky. We always appreciate it. And with that super chat, let's donate to Steve Cooper, who donates to everyone else. Master Transmuter. Okay, 4 mana for a 1/2. Pay a blue, tap. Return target artifact you control to its owner's hand, and you may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. And it's not gonna be pretty either. Okay, next up, we got Bjorn with Sundial of the Infinite. Would be amazing with Sneak Attack, right? Oh yeah, it would. Pay 2 for an artifact. Pay 1, tap, end the turn right now. Do I have a great sound effect for ending the turn? That's the best I got. So exile spells and abilities on the stack. Discard down to your maximum hand size. Damage wears off end this turn and until end of turn effects end. I'm surprised this is not worth more money. Is it just that hard to use? It's so weird. Alright, but anyway, it's a fantastic card. It's a build-around card, if you ask me. We've got Tachio Railgun with Time Vault and Time Sieve. Now, we already did Time Vault, but we'll get into the Time Sieve. You like taking extra turns, don't you, Tachio Railgun? You like taking all the turns, do you? A blue and a black for an artifact. Tap, sacrifice 5 artifacts, take an extra turn after this one. It only costs for the low cost of sacking 5 artifacts. You just need to get them treasure tokens going, and then it pays for itself. I like this one from Beanpot, the Fauna Shaman. Very Fauna. Ooh, this is a new art for Fauna Shaman. Where's the old one? I like the old art. 2 mana for a 2/2 elf. Pay a green, tap, discard a creature card, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. This does 2 things. I mean, first off, you're tutoring for any creature that you want in your deck. And number 2, you're discarding creature cards. You could reanimate them. All right, you might be devious with that Fauna Shaman. Sundial is incredible, to be honest. Also, a weird counter spell on your turn. That's right. Well, unless you're playing something, because you play something, counter. Play something, they counter, you play Sundial. I mean, everyone loses. Everyone's a loser. Bell says they like the Goblin Sharpshooter. Oh, yeah. Okay, so tap, Goblin Sharpshooter deals 1 damage to target creature or player. The problem is, if you look at the whole thing as a package, it's, like, somewhat good, but the ability itself stinks. It's just dealing 1 damage to a creature or player. Not particularly the best activated abilities. The whole card as a thing is good. Okay, Darkstar Ashura says, I got 2 cards on me, and one of them is Elvish and Simian Spirit Guide. Ah. Elvish Spirit Guide. It came in white border, or they just made it in white border? Damn you, Mystery Booster Box! 3 mana 2/2, which you'll never cast. Well, I shouldn't say never. Exile from your hand to add a green. And of course, we've got the other Spirit Guide, also known as Harambe, that adds a red. You just exile it. Very, actually a pretty broken activated ability, to be honest. This is one of the best ones out there. It's banned in Modern, for crying out loud. We did Yawgmoth's Bargain already. Do you count an inherent trigger tied to an activated ability? If something activates and then triggers upon, like... Okay, let's look at Decree of Annihilation. Decree of... I have no idea what you're talking about. When you cycle Decree of Annihilation... Oh yeah, that definitely counts! So it's like 10 mana, but you know what? You can cycle it for 7. And when you cycle it, you blow up all the lands! Absolutely, that counts. 100%. I like that one. You could do that at instant speed. Guess what, everyone? At the end of your turn, I'm gonna blow up all the lands. You're just gonna love what I'm about to do. Maddie Matson with the Birthing Pod. Very good ability. All right, could pay 4 mana, or you can pay 2 life and 3 mana. And for 1 generic and a Phyrexian, tap, sack a creature, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost 1 plus the sacrifice creature's converted mana cost. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Activate only anytime you could cast a sorcery. But it's tutoring directly into play. And what do you like? You're not even gonna lose anything. You're gonna lose some crap card, or you're gonna lose something that has persist or undying. So it's like you're not losing anything at all. Did we do Stoneforge Mystic? Not really. Stoneforge Mystic, 2 mana 1/2. ETB, look for an equipment card, put into your hand. But as the activated ability of paying 2, tap, put an equipment card from your hand onto the battlefield. You could put something decent, you could also put something absolutely outrageous. It's up to you. Okay, next up, let's go with John's Candelabra of Townhouse. 1 mana, X tap, untap X target lands. Basically the point is, if you can untap a land that produces 2 or more mana, that's value. Very, very good card. I wish I owned one. Okay, next up, what do we got? A Blackbird with Kalitas. Little zombie interaction here. Trader of Get. Now, it's a 4 mana 3/4. It's got lifelink. It has a very strong ability. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead, and put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. You can pay 3, sack another zombie or vampire to put 2 +1/+1 counters on Kalitas, Trader of Get. Honestly, this is not the craziest ability. I know it's got lifelink, but we're basically sacking... I mean, what we're basically doing is spending 3 mana to sack a creature to put 2 +1/+1 counters on this. Very underwhelming. How about Goblin... That's a strong one. Goblin Welder. Goblin Welder, 1 red for a 1/1. And it's tap, switcheroo an artifact from the graveyard and 1 in play. It's almost like Reanimator for artifacts. But the scary thing is, like, you have to kill this thing or it'll try it over and over and over and over again. So, like, so long as the 2 targets are still legal upon resolution. Also, they could do it to you. You know, if you got some crap artifact in your graveyard and you have a great artifact onto the battlefield, they're like, all right, let's switch these things around. Get that crappy thing onto the battlefield and lose your great card. Lose your Aetherflux Reservoir. Yeah, it doesn't have to be you either. Okay, time for Super Chat. We got King Ginger, the Myojin of Seeing Winds. The winds see everything. It is 10 mana 3/3. Comes into play with a divinity counter on it. And it's indestructible as long as it has that divinity counter. But if you remove the divinity counter, you get to draw a card for each permanent you control. Love it. Always wanted to draw as many cards as I have permanents. For each oh, it includes your lands. Probably gonna have at least 10. What did you have to get this thing? Okay, Mad Cat with Azuri, the Renegade Leader. Is it Azuri? Azuri? No, it's not this. Renegade Leader. I know who you're talking about here. I don't know how to misspelled it in the first place. 3 mana for a 2/2. Pay a green, regenerate another target elf, but it also has pay 5. Elf creatures you control get +3/+3, and also gain trample until end of turn. And let me tell you, if you have infinite mana, your creatures are getting infinitely big. An infinite trample. It's not worth a whole lot beyond the first one, but you know what? You have to send the message. Okay, we're gonna look at more of the busted Magic the Gathering activated abilities, but first time we gotta take a break to thank our sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. Remember, Bloomburrow is out. Get your fuzzy creatures, whether it be frogs, rats, hamsters, bats, badgers, rabbits. Am I missing anything? Otters. They got otters. Looking for otters? They got in Bloomburrow, and those singles are hot and ready at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget also Deal of the Week, 15% off all Secret Lair singles and box sets. So if you're looking for some special rare arts that you can only get at Secret Lair, now's the time to get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. And don't forget, when at checkout, use coupon code Nikachu to get 5% off all your purchases, no matter what's in that cart. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. You like playtesting online? You like playing digital Magic, all the paper formats online, like Commander, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, and more? You want to look into Mana Traders, and you can basically play every deck available when you're renting the cards with Mana Traders. You can support the channel renting using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_25K. Back to activated abilities. You've activated my trap card. There's a lot of super chats today. People love your activated abilities. All right, the combo maker himself, the Kiki Jiki. You better believe it. No, it's not a one-card win condition. It does take 2 to tango with this guy. But does have haste and tap. Create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control. It also has haste. You gotta sack it at the next end step. But that's probably not gonna be a problem because you intend on winning this game. You intend on winning this duel the moment this thing enters the battlefield. Jacob is like, Tapper. Is that a real card? That has got to be a silver border card. It is. Okay, it's not silver border. It's Acorn. What's it with you? These fake cards are leaking into the game. Tap to tap an untapped creature you control that has a hat. Jacob, I forgot you're the hat person. Okay, so this is definitely one of your favorite cards, and also tap target creature. That is such a what a weird ability. I don't even understand it. So we're tapping this to tap an untapped creature I control that has a hat, and then we're doing that to tap a creature. Tap the hat thing. Just random mage. Ooh, the Spawnshire of Ulamai. Is this what I think it is? Is this what I think it is? It is! The 10 mana 7/11. You can go get Slurpees there. Careful what you slurp, actually, when you're around the Eldrazi. Annihilator 1. Pay 4. Put 2/0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn tokens onto the battlefield, and they can be sacked for mana. But that's not the ability that we're looking at. We're looking at pay 20. Cast any number of Eldrazi cards you own from outside the game without paying their mana costs. And from there, I have no idea how you survive from that. Like, don't you get, like, you'll get extra turns, right? Yeah, you have Emrakul. Out of curiosity, if you rule 0 in outside the game in Commander, can you play banned cards like Emrakul? Or is it still banned, even though it's outside the game? Just curious. Excellent, I can untap Bacon Catbug. Yeah, Bacon Catbug had a hat on all the time. Next up, let's look at Fletchery's Bilbo Birthday Celebrant. Bilbo absolutely has a nasty activated ability, because for 5 mana, tap, exile Bilbo Birthday Celebrant, search your library for any number of creature cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only if you have 111 or more life. Congratulations, Bilbo, it's your birthday. Everyone sing Bilbo a happy birthday. But don't get us copyright struck. Oh, it's still Emrakul's still banned even if outside the game. I don't think Mordred got a card yet. Oko, Thief of Crowns. It's very underrated, but this +1, target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk creature token with base power and toughness 3/3. I bet the commander players feel this one too. Like, you play your commander and it's like, Oko, Thief of Crowns. Oh, I elk your creature. Ha ha ha. Evil. Does kicker cost count as an activated ability? Nope. Kicker is a kicker. It's a... I don't even know what the kicker is. I think kicker is just like part of a casting cost. T. Corellis. Do you do sneak attack? I did do sneak attack. I'm sorry about that. So basically a double value reanimator. T. Corellis, if you have another card, I'm going to keep an eye out for you. But until then, we're going to donate this one to Surefire Selves Planar Nexus. Sometimes people put 2 cards when they super chat, just in case one of them didn't work. Planar Nexus says, every non-basic land type, tap, add a colorless, pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. This is awful. It's not disqualified, sorry. It's very sad. This is not the best activated ability. Yeah, kicker is an optional additional casting cost. Okay, let's take a look at Ag Glowworks with Door to Nothingness. I like that. That sounds, well, not the most original, but it is a powerful ability. Wooburg! Sorry, double Wooburg. Tap, sacrifice Door to Nothingness. Target player loses the game.
Enemy spotted.
Next super chat. King Ginger. Ooh, Arcanus the Omnipotent. I like this one. Might be 6 mana. We get to tap and draw them sweet 3 cards. Also, can also duck, hide, and cover. Pay 4 mana. Return Arcanus back to your hand. If there's a board wipe on the way, you just get out of there. Alright, next up, let's take a look at... Ooh, Food Chain is actually a pretty good one. Food Chain. We did Garth One Eye already, Thomas Jackson. Okay, Food Chain, 3 mana. Exile a creature you control to add X mana of any one color, where X is 1 plus the exiled creature's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. Fantastic if you need more mana. Also, tons of ways of combo with this, but even without the combo, it's like a pretty strong card. A means of exiling creatures to ramp up into something larger, or if people try to kill your creatures in response, exile the creature, get the mana, play a flash spell. Or sorry, flash creature, I should say. And next, let's take a look at... I think that was a freebie one. Okay, then we go to the super chats. We need redemption. Ooh, the Mindslaver. One of the best activated abilities. There are win conditions based around Mindslaver. 6 mana artifact, pay 4 tap, sacrifice it. You control target player during that player's next turn. You are my puppet now. Dance, monkey, dance. You'll be dancing for me now. And by dance, I mean I'm going to tap all your mana. I'm going to use all the removal spells on your creatures. I'm going to attack all your creatures into creatures that will easily block and kill them. And hopefully I can do that over and over again. Sheelan, did we do the One Ring yet? We didn't, actually. Yeah, tap, draw a card. For each burden counter on the One Ring. And every single time you tap it, you add a burden counter. And you just keep tapping, keep drawing more cards. Not to mention, it's an indestructible card that basically is a time walk. Give you protection from everything when it enters the battlefield. We don't have to talk about the downsides. That'll never happen. You'll never die. Don't worry, you're protected. Darkstar Shura with Soren Markov for the -3. Huge fan of -3. Huge fan of Markov. Target opponent loses. Oh, target opponent's life total becomes 10. That is quite the predicament. Or maybe they're at 1 life and they go to 10, huh? Huh? Is that possible? Someone's like, thank you, Soren Markov. I needed that. In my time of desperation, Soren Markov saved me. But yeah, that's also, it could be a means of like taking someone from infinite life back down to 10 life. Okay, we got Apocalypse with the Heartless Hide Tsugu. 5 mana for a 4/3. Deals damage to each player equal to half that player's life total rounded down. Now, I think it takes forever to get this thing to kill you, but it'll get you really low on life. It'll get you really low on life. Mean Brulee with Cody, the Vociferous Codex. Look up Codex. How many Codex cards can there be? Cody the book. Is it a book? It's a construct. Oh, is it the book holder? Pay 3 for a 1/4. You can't cast permanent spells. That's terrible. Pay 4, tap. Add Wooburg. When you cast your next spell this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile an instant or sorcery card with lesser mana value. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put each other card exiled this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. Oh, this card's great! It's like the activated ability is great. Effectively, you got everything as Cascade. But it says you can't cast permanent spells. When you cast exile it. Oh, yeah, can only exile until you hit an instant or sorcery spell. Wow, you're just playing with instants and sorceries for the rest of the game. We got Alice, Wild Mage, with Experimental Cry. Obviously. What is this? Okay, I was like, this is very low quality. Also, I can't read it. This is blue, green, 2 generic for a 4/6. Experimental Cry has all activated abilities of each other creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. Oh, tap, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So I basically put it, oh, but the card, okay, I'm gonna barely count this. The ability itself is sort of bad, but it has to, but in combination with what it actually does here. it's quite interesting. Because what it's effectively saying is I'm stealing all the abilities from some target creature. Alright, I might be buffing you up a little bit, but really it's like a soul mind link to your brain, and all of a sudden I have your powers. Okay, next up we've got Algot with the Brushstroke Painter Mage. That also sounds like a silver border card, yeah. You know, you can tell just by the name. I gotta start disqualifying these cards. Target Permanence Artist, I read enough. These are illegal! Absolutely illegal. Oh, Toads doesn't have a card yet. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. So this is actually very similar to the Cry card that we just looked at. 2 mana for an artifact. You can spend mana. Okay, that part isn't important. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have all activated abilities of all creature cards exiled with the Agatha's Soul Cauldron. So you exile a creature from the graveyard. You put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, and then that creature is going to have all activated abilities of the creature you just exiled from the graveyard. That's just the ability. Tap, exile target card from a graveyard, and boom, it has a +1/+1 counter. Cry has abilities of creatures you control with a hat. Oh. Okay, next up. We got Blink Somniac. Oh, and donate. You're donating 4. But you want Najila. Najila. The Blade Blossom. This is a 3 mana 3/2 human warrior. Whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. And from Wooburg, untap all attacking creatures! And they're gonna be back in the red zone, right? They gain trample, lifelink, and haste until end of turn. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. It's like Pippin and the other guy. What about second combat? Huh? Huh? Anybody? They have to have that meme in here. What about second combat? What about third combat? Okay, 4 donations. We'll give one to Tom Squires with Royal Assassin. You know, this card is still pretty good. Like, if they put this ability on a random creature today, it would be strong. Tap, destroy target tapped creature. Even the ability to basically kill any creature is very good, even by today's standards. Oh, this is a great one, Turiat. Aggressive mining. Ignore the you can't play lands part. That sucks. But sacrifice a land, draw 2 cards. That's insane. Activate this ability only once each turn. But if you're in Commander, there's like 4 turns. Ha 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 ha. Can't play lands. Well, tell that to my creatures that search for lands and put them directly onto the battlefield. Royal Assassin dies to Orcish Bowmaster. Well, yeah, that's why no one plays that card. Remember, the card doesn't need to be good. The activated ability needs to be good. We're looking for powerful, best activated abilities. Hedgeman. We did do Door to Nothingness and Time Sieve, but not Sage of Hours. We got one. See, Hedgeman's been around the block to know you gotta name like 3 or 4 cards to get it in there. 2 mana for a 1/1 human wizard. It's got heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Sage of Hours, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Now you just remove all +1/+1 counters from Sage of Hours. For each 5 counters removed this way, take an extra turn after this one. Okay, I think that was 3 donations. Who doesn't got a card yet? I don't know. I don't think William got one. My favorite in standard at the moment is Tarnation Vista. Had 3 copies in play, which ramped me to 9. Which is a land, enters the battlefield tapped. As it enters, choose a color. Tap, add 1 mana of the chosen color. That's pretty good by itself. Pay 1, tap. For each color among monocolored perms you control, add 1 mana of that color. Oh, so for each color among monocolored, so if you have a red, blue, green, white, black, like monocolor permanent in play, you actually add that much mana. Henrik says, I didn't get a card yet. Times it. Well, we did that one. Maybe that's why. Mordrek with the Karn Liberated. Get another one, Henrik. Get another one. 7 mana. -14. Restart the game. That's right. Everyone should be scared. Leaving in exile all non-aura permanent cards exiled with Karn Liberated. Then put those cards on the battlefield under your control. They're yours now. Who gets to start the game? I can't remember. Do they re-roll the die roll? I can't remember. Okay, Golos from King Ginger. Banned for a lot of reasons. 5 mana, ETB, search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped. Also for Wooburg 2 generic, exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn without paying their mana costs. What were they thinking? They're out of their minds with that one. We got Drist with Null Mage Shepherd. This is a 4 mana 2/4. Tap 4 untapped creatures you control to destroy target artifact or enchantment. And if you're in a token deck, you've got all the power to blow up all the artifacts and enchantments at will. This is not a bad one from Henrik. Aetherworks Marvel. Not bad at all. When a permanent you control is put into a graveyard, you get an energy. Tap, pay 6 energy. Look at the top 6 cards of your library, and you may cast a card from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And it's not going to be random. Look, you're going to know what's on top of your deck. You can stack it with Brainstorm Sensei's Divining Top, and you basically show and tell something directly onto the battlefield. King Ginger with the Bolus's Citadel. Just going with all the classic staples, aren't you, King Ginger? This looks terrible in white border. 6 mana, you can look at the top card at any time. You may play land cards and cast spells from the top card of your library, from the top of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. Tap, sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. Is that actually good? Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents? Like, the card itself is good. I actually don't think this ability is that good. Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. It can't even be lands. I actually think this card sucks. I think the activated ability absolutely sucks. Who the hell is sacking 10 non-land permanents? Or is there like a little bit of synergy with this card where you get like permanents in play that can be sacrificed and brought back from the graveyard? I think this is a sad card. Okay, let's get with Bell, the World Tree. Double Wooburg, tap, sacrifice the World Tree. Search your library for any number of God cards. Put them onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. That is what I'm talking about. This card is absolute power. You gotta be thinking. We all have to be thinking with the World Tree around here. You just praise the power of token decks, bro. Well, you know what? You can't underestimate them token decks. Hey, Nikachu, you find any cheaters recently? I didn't find them, but the judges have. The judges always catch them. Okay, let's go with, I don't know. I can't remember if Henrik got one. Realm Breaker. Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree? Was the last one the Invasion Tree? Oh no, this is the World Tree. Okay, 3 mana, legendary artifact. Pay 2, tap. Target opponent mills 3 cards. Put a land card from their graveyard onto the battlefield, tapped under your control. It gains if this land would leave the battlefield, exile it instead and put it instead of putting it anywhere else. Now pay 10, tap, sacrifice Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree. Search your library for any number of Praetor cards and put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Super broken. Very, very strong. I think we're getting to the juicy cards at the end of the show. Okay, Tachyon Railgun with Hannah, Ship's Navigator. Is that a new art? I don't remember this from Hannah. To be honest, I don't remember that one either. Alright, so 3 mana for a 1/2 Human Artificer. Pay 3, tap, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Gonna recycle them over and over again. Ooh, I like this one from... Actually, I like both of these. Okay, we'll get Epic Nate's Kumena, Tyrant of Orazka. It Merfolk! I think the best one might be the tap 3 untap Merfolk you control to draw a card. Alternatively, you can tap 5 untap Merfolk you control to put a +1/+1 counter on each Merfolk you control. Or you can tap a Merfolk you control to give Kumena unblockable. But, you know, imagine a token deck. They were allowed to tap their soldiers to draw a card for each 3 they would want. That would be great value, but that's how it works with Kumena around here. I wanted this other one. Dustin's Seismic Assault. Very underrated ability. Red, red, red. Just discard a land to deal 2 damage to any target. And there's so many different cards that let you, like, bring lands back from your graveyard to your hand, or bounce them from the battlefield back to your hand. And you have this sort of engine going of bringing lands back, discards to deal damage, bring them back. I like the Seismic Assault. Ooh, did we forget Azami? One of the most broken abilities of all time. Just tap and untap wizard you control to draw a card. This is insane. Summoning Sickness doesn't matter. It's just tap and untap wizard. So play wizards, tap it for cards. Instant value. Korbanek with Memnarch. This should be interesting. The Memnarch, 7 mana, 4/5. You can pay 3 mana, target perm becomes an artifact in addition to its other types, and then pay 4 mana to gain control of target artifact. It's mine now. You steal the artifacts, or if it's not an artifact yet, turn it into an artifact and then steal it. Who do we got here? Anyone not got a card yet? Can't tell who has or has not got a card yet. Or maybe everyone's got a card at this point. Let's look at... Wizards usually have hats. Usually. That and pirates. You're probably a huge pirate fan, Jacob. Huge pirate fan. Oh! Stationed as actor is Isochron Scepter. Yeah, how do we forget about that one? The 2 mana artifact that imprints... was it just instant cards with mana value 2 or less? Pay 2 tap, you get a copy of that thing over and over again. And we got Salty Rod, Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, as well as other cards that tap to give you devotion as mana. There's a few other ones. But this one's the land that also taps for a colorless mana. Pay 2, tap, choose a color, add to your mana pool an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. This is like Candelabra at home. Although Candelabra also combos with this thing. Candelabra also combos. Tiger! Fleece Mane Lion. You like Indestructible, do you? Okay, we got a white, green, 3/3 cat. And it's got Monstrosity for 5. If this creature isn't monstrous, you put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it becomes monstrous. As long as it's monstrous, it's hexproof and indestructible. So you try to attack it with anything, it just bounces right off its hexproof. You try to destroy the world, Fleece Mane Lion still standing, all right? Standing and laughing. We got Toilet Ducks, Jace, Memory Adept. With the last ability, it's like -7. Any number of target players each draw 20 cards. Oh, it's any number. It could just be you, and that's it. Or you can make someone draw the rest of their deck to their death. We got Blazit's MTG, the reality chip with Landfall. Reality chip. 2 mana for a 0/4. You can look at the top card of your library anytime. As long as the reality chip is attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. It also has Reconfigure for 3 mana. Attach this. Does this do anything? It's just got Reconfigure. Attach to a creature you control or unattach it. So you attach it. So long as it's attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Yeah, okay. You basically turn it into like an artificial... I can't remember that blue card. That's like 5 mana. It exists, though. Next up, Alice. The game is pretty much over. As soon as someone ultimates the Ral Crackling Wit. Like how Alice thinks around here. Oh, the otter one comes up. -10. Draw 3 cards. You get an emblem. With instants and sorcery spells, you have Storm. Yeah, I'm gonna play some spells, then I'm gonna play Ancestral Recall. I'm gonna draw a bazillion cards out of this. No one's gonna be able to financially recover from my spells. Daicurio with Glasses of Urza. It's not much, but it's honest, perfect informations. Glasses of Urza. There's 2 Glasses of Urza. Tap, look at target player's hand. You know, I'm gonna allow it. It's like Gataxian Probe. Every single turn. I sort of like this card. Okay, I think I've seen a few people try to get Lin Civi. Lin Civi? I don't think Lin Civi's really that good. You can get... Oh, yeah, wait a minute. I forgot you can get Morophon. Pay X, tap, search your library for a Rebel card. If Morophon is a Rebel with mana cost X or less, and put that card into play, then shuffle your library. It's almost like a birthing pod of some sort. Eris. I don't know, Toads. What about Sorceress Queen? Sorceress Queen here. This is like the Queen Bee. Tap, target creature other than Sorceress Queen is 0/2 until end of turn. Alright, you turn creatures into weaklings. You might have been a 10/10 Blightsteel Colossus, but how about we turn you into 0/2 instead? Okay, we got Jamal here with Alando the Seer. Alando is one of my favorite commanders to play. Draws cards and casts spells for free. That is quite the activated ability. It is quite the reader. Okay, we got... It's a 3/5 for 4 mana. Tap, draw a card, then exile a card from the top. Exile a card from your hand and put a number of time counters on it equal to its mana value. All right, so we got some suspend. It gains when the last time counter is removed from this card. If it's exiled, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you cast a creature spell this way, it gains haste until end of turn. Then remove a time counter from each other card you own in exile. Why don't they just say it has suspend? I don't understand that. I guess it ran out of room. They would have said it. Reads like a custom Magic the Gathering card. You're not wrong, Tom Squires. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the cards these days, I cannot tell the difference between a custom Magic the Gathering card and a real Magic the Gathering card anymore. In the past, custom Magic the Gathering cards, they were just overly wordy and stupidly powerful, and now regular Magic cards are exactly the same. No difference whatsoever. Is this Yu-Gi-Oh? Toilet Deck. Oh, that's an interesting one. Sensei's Divining Top. We got 1 mana artifact. Pay 1, look at the top card of your library, then put it back in any order. Tap, draw a card, then put Sensei's Divining Top on top of its owner's library. It doesn't look like much, but it's banned in multiple formats and still a staple in Commander. Oh, I like this one, Voltaic Key. Now, by itself, it's not that strong, right? But the key to Voltaic Key is you untap artifacts that you can abuse later. Kano with Navinral's Disc. Navinral's Disky. It's a 4 mana artifact, ETB tap, but pay 1 tap, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Oh, by the way, it doesn't affect planeswalkers. So if I've got planeswalkers, it won't do anything. Did we do Ballista yet? We absolutely did Ballista yet. Does Apprentice Wizard count? Doesn't that just like tap, draw a card? Oh no, it's the blue tap, add 3 mana to your mana pool. 3 colorless. Oh, that's great. It's a very good ability. We did Door to Nothingness. I don't think we did Lifeline though. 5 mana artifact. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard and a creature is in play, return that creature. It's not activated ability. Disqualified. We did Sneak Attack. We did Door to Nothingness. We didn't do Delighted Halfling. I guess it's good for in Commander. I mean, it's just a good card in general. Green 1/2. Tap it out of colorless, but you can tap that 1 mana to any color, but it can only be spent on legendary spells, and those spells can't be countered. Also note, I mean, it's good for making uncounterable commanders. Also makes uncounterable One Rings, uncounterable Planeswalkers. So annoying. Stonks for Apprentice Wizard. Yeah, stonks. Next up, let's take a look at Mount Doom. This is, what is it? You pay 7 mana, sack Mount Doom and a legendary artifact. Choose up to 2 creatures, then destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery. I guess that was the only out to, like, getting rid of your One Ring, so it doesn't kill you. Yeah, we did the One Ring. Ooh, Goblin Bombardment is a great one. From Agloworks. 2 mana enchantment. Just sack a creature to deal 1 damage to any target. If you're in like a goblin deck and you're in red, you may have all these tokens. You gotta spend them tokens on something. Spend on your Goblin Bombardment. Flaming Goblins. Have we done fetch? We have not done fetch lands. Okay, we'll do 1 fetch land. You pay 1 life, crack it. Search your library for a plains or island card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. It's a tutor for lands, essentially. What does Pedgeman want? He's like Nicol Bolas, Jace, the Mind Sculptor. Let's do Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Jace, I don't even remember what Wielder of Mysteries does. Probably has some sort of game. Oh, yeah, it has a great ability. -8, draw 7 cards. If your library has no cards in it, you win the game. Congratulations. Alice. Feels super amazing to get the -10 on Tavish. Tavish Shat. Doom of Fools. Especially if he has exactly 10 loyalty counters and is your commander. Oh god, this card. I hate this card. 5 mana for a 4 loyalty. Yeah, -10. Gain control of all commanders. And like, they're not hidden in the command zone because you put all commanders from the command zone onto the battlefield under your control. This is a stupid card. It has partner. It can partner with that 1 mana Kobold card. I absolutely hate that card. You guys get Planeswalker Ultimates? Well, in some play groups, yeah, it might happen. Horizon Spellbomb is not great. Then why are you suggesting it? Kano with Pestilence. Pretty powerful ability. 4 mana enchantment. At end of turn, if there's no creatures in play, you gotta sack your Pestilence, but pay a black and deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. Just make sure your creatures are big and chunky, and then like you can sweep the board clean. Dr. Nemo with Urza. Lord. Are these activated abilities? So this is Lord Protector. Ugh! Ew! Ew! Ugh. I need like a visual like cleanser after seeing that mystery booster card. Okay, 4 mana for a 1/4. ETBs get a construct. Tap an untapped artifact you control. Add a blue mana. That part is just busted by itself, in my opinion. Oh, and the cherry on top is you pay 5, shuffle your library, and exile the top card. Until end of turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, Sneak Attack was said a million years ago. Lethal Vapors from Tachyon. When a creature comes into play, we have to destroy it. Well, that's not good. Pay 0. Destroy Lethal Vapors. You skip your next turn. Any player may play this ability. Well, it's certainly a powerful ability. I don't know if it's a good one. You skip your next turn. Oh, I see. Whenever a creature comes into play, destroy. So, oh yeah, this card's actually amazing. But hold on, what about this activated ability? Destroy Lethal Vapors, you skip your next turn. Technically, the ability sucks, because you don't want to play it. The card is great, though. That ability is terrible. You don't want to activate that. You would never want to activate that. Not under your watch. What about Force Field? Does it have an activated ability? Oh, pay 1. The next time a target unblocked creature would deal combat damage to you this turn, prevent all but 1 of that damage. It's not bad. don't know if it's the greatest card, though. Okay, how about from Jamal? How about Myojin of Cryptic Dreams? At this point, who hasn't got 2 cards yet? Okay, we have 8 mana for a 3/3 ETB with an indestructible counter on it if you cast it from your hand, so no cheating it. Remove an indestructible counter from Myojin of Cryptic Dreams. Copy target permanent spell you control 3 times. That's a lot of permanents. Just make sure you don't copy a legendary permanent. That would be crazy. Absolute crazy. The Abyss Soul with the Glissa Sunslayer. Okay, 3 mana for a 3/3 first strike. When deal damage to a player, choose 1. Not activated ability. These are all triggered abilities. Survival of the Fittest. Pay green. Discard a creature card. Search your library for a creature card. Reveal it and put it in your hand. Then shuffle your library. We got tutors for days. Oh, Mother of Runes. We got Mommy here from Abzo. Abzo always remembers Mommy. We got white 1/1. Tap. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. One of the most back-breaking cards to try to, like, plow through. Ooh, Michael with this Mind Over Matter. I think this is a very unique ability. Now, it's 6 mana, but you choose and discard a card to tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land. You combine that with things like, what's it called? Arcanus Omnipotent, and you're drawing a bit. You can just basically draw your deck. It's a 2-card combo right then and there. I think this is a very underrated card. Okay, Salty Rad with the Beamtown Bullies. In Commander specifically. Used with cards like Eater of Days. Beamtown Bullies. Give your opponent cards. You're bullying people. Oh, it's literally, I didn't even realize that they have a beam there. Are they making buildings? I guess they got buildings in the multiverse. Okay, 4 mana for a 4/4 Ogre Devil Warrior. Vigilance and Haste. Tap. Target opponent whose turn it is puts target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under their control. It gains haste and also goad it. At the beginning of the next end step, exile it. What next do we have here? Who hasn't got 2 cards? 2 cards. Toilet Duck, Agent of Rafine. Bell really try. I don't even think that card is good. What is this? It's an alchemy card. Pay 2, tap, choose target opponent. Conjure a duplicate of the top card of their library into your hand. Conjure a duplicate of the top card of their library. You may spend mana as though or mana of any color to cast the spell, then exile the top card of their library face down. I don't understand this card. I don't think it's good. I don't know. Is it good? It is a 1 mana 1/2, which makes it sort of okay. I guess it's card advantage. I don't know. I'm not super excited about this. Okay, let's get Bell's Fairy Macabre. All it is discard Fairy Macabre, exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards. Like, it's interaction. I am not the most excited for that interaction. Oh, Dadam draws hand. Got nothing yet. I ain't even got a card. Peregrine Dynamo. We got 3 mana 1/5 with haste, but it's got pay 1. Tap, copy target activated or triggered ability you control from another legendary source that's not a commander. You may choose new targets for the copy. I love it. That's value. Okay, Benovsky, Underworld Connections. Watch out for P-Needle, though. Underworld. Oh, is that? Oh, I know what you mean by this. Okay, this is the 3 mana artifact. Sorry, aura that you can put on lands. So, enchant land. An enchanted land has tap, pay 1 life, draw a card. Now, if you want to Pithing Needle this, what do you name? If I put this on a swamp, what do you Pithing Needle? Sadly, too many people have fallen for playing Pithing Needle, naming Underworld Connections. Pithing Needle is that 1 mana artifact. You name a card, and then activated abilities of that card can't be activated. When really the card you need to name is the Swamp. You have to name the Swamp. Thomas Jackson with Brash Taunter. Is that the one that picks fights with people? You want to fight? I'll show you a fight. 5 mana, indestructible 1/1. When it's dealt damage, deals that much damage to target opponent. 3 mana tap. Breast Taunter fights another target creature. It's Swamp. Yeah, you gotta name Swamp. Everflowing Chalice is not that exciting. Oh, here we go. Sea Singer. That steals creatures, right? Tap. Gain control of target creature whose controller controls an island as long as you control Sea Singer and as long as Sea Singer remains tapped. We gotta give them an island. We gotta show them the love of the island. We did Royal Assassin already. Mordrak, Grimoire of the Dead. Grimoire of the Dead. It's an artifact for 4 mana. Pay 1, tap, discard a card. Put a study counter on Grimoire of the Dead. Tap, remove 3 study counters from Grimoire of the Dead and sacrifice it. Put all creature cards from all graveyards on the battlefield under your control. They're black zombies in addition to other colors and types. That is going to be a problem. Mass Reanimation. It's a very, very powerful activated ability. Super chat from Salty Rad with Inala. Archmage Ritualist, command zone activated. Okay, we have 5 mana, 4/5. Oh, with the Eminence. Whenever another non-token wizard enters the battlefield under your control, if Inala is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you can pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that wizard. The token gains haste. Exile it, though, at the end of the beginning of the next end step. Okay, and then tap 5 untap wizards you control. Target player loses 7 life. True North, eh? Did anyone do Shalai? Ooh, we did not do Shalai. The Voice of Plenty. And if you have plenty of mana, you're going to have plenty of counters. For 6 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Infinite mana says, infinite power! And that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. Hope you love those powerful activated abilities. And if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who's here, who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or super chat so that other people get to be part of the show. And thank you so much, my coffee crew, for being here today. People like you are here. Oh, we have one more super chat. You're cutting it close here. Hold on, we'll get this last one through. Kenrith, the Return of the King. Kenrith. The Returned King. Is there any particular one that's busted? It's like, we've got pay red, all creatures gain trample, 2 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It's like, what's the best ability on Kenrith? And it's like, yes. Because you can gain 5 life, you can draw cards, or you can put creatures from the graveyard on the battlefield under its owner's control. All right. Thanks so much, everyone, for being a part of the show. I've got to thank everyone who's always here. People like Eris, Tom Squires, Tiger, Abzo, Mordrak, Benovsky, Kano Jacob, Christopher B., Steve Cooper, True North A, Dr. Nemo, Toads, Dustin, Benovsky, Salty Rad, Christian Serpentine, Bell. We got Tachyon Railgun, Eris, Toads. I know there's more people out here. Alice, Bjorn. Because you guys are the crew. So as you and my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees. We're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.